After the completion of Bloodborne's DLC, From Software went into planning on a new IP where they show off a teaser trailer at the Game Awards 2017, showing a tagline saying, "Shadows Die Twice." Then 6 months later, the game was finally shown off at Microsoft's E3 press conference, and a big shocker, well at least I think it is, what Activision is the publisher of this game. But after 9 months of waiting, the game is now among us on PC, PS4 and Xbox One. But will From Software fans find anything different from previous games that they played before? And will it attract a new audience who are brave enough to take the punishment? Welcome to the HUD everyone, I'm Zacharoni, and today I'll be a waiter who will be going through some of the features the game has to offer. So without further ado, please be seated, and here are the toppings on Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. In the 16th century of Japan, the country was torn apart by civil war. It was known as the Sengoku Jidai, the age of warring states, where empires crumble, warlords dominated the land, and many brave warriors fight for their clans. But at the end of the era, a young orphan was taken in by a wandering shinobi, who named him Wolf, and trained him to become a skilled shinobi, just like him of course. Now it's been 20 years, and Wolf had been assigned on looking after Kuro as his bodyguard. However, Junichio of the Ashia clan defeated Wolf and had abducted Kuro. Oh, and he has also cut off Wolf's arm for good measures. Then he was revived and been given a wooden robot arm by a sculptor who named him Sekiro, which translates to the one-armed wolf. Now he's got one thing on his mind: take down Junichio and rescue Kuro. But along the way, he'll run into flashbacks of Kuro's past in certain areas, and can eavesdrop on enemy soldiers to hear their perspective on the whole situation that is happening to this day. Now when I said From Software in the intro, fans will probably know what they are getting out of this game, but those who don't, well, let's get this out of the way first. Just like From Software's previous games, Shadow Died Twice is hard, and you'll probably note this from the footage that you are going to see in this video. So if you are a newbie to any game made by From Software, then proceed with caution. You've been warned. When you start the game up, you are presented with a simple prologue level that explains the fundamentals of the game. Then you are dropped into the main game where the structure is linear, with areas that got a lot of space to explore, but your main path is blocked by a nasty boss that is bigger or menacing than you. As you defeat enemies, you gain XP, and if you collect a set number of XP, you earn a skill point to level up your character that features skill trees with 3 different types of skills. Combat arts give you new strong attacks, shinobi arts focus on defense and countering, while Layton's is all about stealth and recovery. Also, make sure you hold down a button or key to obtain money from fallen enemies that can be used on merchants to buy healing items or objects to distract enemies. Along your journey, you run into blue lanterns that serve as checkpoints, but unlike past From Software games where you lose everything you build up to, Shadows Die Twice will only take away half of your XP and money. Luckily, if you do go down, then you can have another chance to get back in the action without respawning from a lantern. But you'll only get half recovery of health, and you can only use it once until you reach another lantern to refill it again, along with your health and healing items. Oh, and enemies you defeated will respawn again, with the exception of bosses though, so you don't have to worry about facing those again. However, if you do that and die a second time, then a random NPC character will catch a sickness called the Dragon Rot, and if you get a side mission from them before they got the Dragon Rot, then it becomes locked until you cure it with a special item that can be used on blue lanterns. And yes, there is a reason for it, but I think I'll let you discover that in the main game, if you are thinking about playing it of course. From the snowy environment to the burned village, the game presents itself with realistic 3D graphics that run at 50 frames per second. For enemy design, it featured your traditional samurai enemies, but it also featured mythical Japanese creatures like a tied-up ogre and a bull with fire on its horns. Oh, and I'm aware that they didn't have those during the Age of Warring States, so don't bother pointing that out, okay? The Japanese orchestra soundtrack is composed by Yuka Kikamiya, sorry if I couldn't pronounce that last name right, who previously made Dark Souls 3's soundtrack. As for the English voice cast, it featured Nasha Dalu as Sekiro/Wolf, Amber Hood as Kuro, Brian Cummings as the Sculpture, Stephanie Scher as Emma, and Ray Chase as Jinichio. As for options, there are 6 voice languages and 13 text languages to choose from. Turn the blood effects off, set the HUD to hide or show, adjust the brightness from 1 to 10, and alter the music, sound effects, and voices from 1 to 10. For PC players, they can set the screen from full screen to Windows, set screen resolution from 800 to 3840, automate rendering adjustment, set quality settings from low to max, and you can mess about with the quality of textures, shadows, lighting, water surfaces, and motion blur in the advanced settings. While Shadows Die Twice has the same rules from Demons, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne, the gameplay is totally different from them. For starters, Sekiro has full traversal all through the environment, so that means he can jump, climb on surfaces and buildings, sneak around the environment, take cover behind walls, and can do stealth takedowns when a glowing symbol appears. And when in stealth mode, enemies will have a symbol above their heads, and it fills up if they see you out in the open for too long. There are 2 types of symbols that represent a color. If it's yellow, then they'll come to investigate where they last saw you, and if it's red, then they'll engage you until they give up if you are out of the area. Next, the game doesn't have a stamina meter, so that means you can keep making him attack without running out of breath. But even if you keep attacking enemies, they will block your attack until you find an opening to attack them. Luckily though, you can block incoming attacks as well, but don't be guarding too much, otherwise Sekiro will be exposed for a few seconds, and you'll know this with the meter displayed at the bottom every time you block an incoming attack. However, the enemy will also have a meter as well, and if it's filled up, then you can do an instant kill to them. But you can quickly fill it up by pressing the guard button at the right time to do a deflect, which also works on bosses as well. And if you get it right, you get sparks coming out of his sword. But if you see a red flashing symbol on the screen, then they are going to do an unblockable attack, and you can only dodge it rather than guard it. As for his wooden robotic arm, you can use it as a grappling hook to get to high places, and you know this with a symbol that turns green if you are in the right position. However, if you find materials, you can craft more side weapons from the sculpture, which includes shurikens, a flamethrower, and an axe for a slow but strong attack, which is good against enemies that have shields. But you need to use spirit emblems in order to use them, and they can be acquired by defeating enemies, finding them in the environment, or buying them from the lanterns. There are more to unlock, but you can only equip up to 3 of them in the equip menu, and you can equip up to 5 items like health potions, stones, and Suda that can give you a stat boost for a short amount of time. At retail, Shadows Die Twice will cost you £49.99 for PS4, Xbox One, and Steam digitally, while on PSN and Xbox Live will cost you £59.99 that require 25GB of storage, and it comes with 34 achievements and trophies, which comes with a platinum as well. Well, that's some of the features that I can tell you right now, but if there are some that I have missed, let me know in the comments, and I hope this will give you an idea of what you'll be getting for your money. Check back with me later, and I'll tell you what I think of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice in a second helpings video, and if you like what you see, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. But until then, I'm Zacharoni. Enjoy your pizza, and I'll see you next time.